Hi, my name is Amy Chung, and I'm the Director of Impact Investing at the California Endowment. The California Endowment is a private statewide health foundation. Our mission focuses on improving the health and wellness for all Californians, with a focus on low-income communities of color. The California Endowment started out as a health foundation in 1996 through working deeply in community on issues of health. We acknowledge and realize that where one lives, works, and plays has fundamental impact on one's overall health and wellness. In addition, the ability for one to advocate for oneself, one's family, and community are critical to overall health and wellness. So our work really goes beyond the four walls of a doctor's office, and we believe that in order to address health, one has to address social justice and racial equity. Structural racism within our financial systems and other systems has resulted in the inequitable distribution of capital, as well as many other elements for communities of color. If we want to lift all communities of color, we need to support comprehensive approaches that address not just access to capital, but the components that really surround access to capital. There's no one organization that can bring this change alone. And so we look to organizations such as Capital Impact Partners to be partners with us and others in this work. We have a small staff, and we rely on Capital Impact Partners and other partners and CDFIs to expand the reach of our capital to serve the many different needs in the state of California. I can use our partnership with Capital Impact Partners around community health centers to highlight some of the wonderful things they bring to bear for community. First, they are very strong lenders, but they balance that lending with an approach that is responsive. They really met community health centers where they are, and they have provided capital that supports their mission and values. Second, they are always trying to increase the impact of the work that they do. Through our partnership, we have multiple times examined our capital and put capital together in different ways that have deepened toward greater outcomes for communities of color. For example, when we worked on our health center lending program in 2015, we were really focused on our capital supporting innovation and supporting models of whole patient care. In addition, Capital Impact Partners is really skilled at bringing together different partners and different sources of capital together, philanthropy, private sector, public sector. This helps provide the capital that is really needed to address change for communities of color. And finally, I'll say that Capital Impact Partners comes to all of its work with trusted networks and relationships. This is what supports their ability to work deeply in community, and this is what supported their rapid response in COVID-19 for community health centers. The pandemic disproportionately impacted communities of color. We as a society have been underinvesting and underfunding communities of color for decades and centuries. All that the pandemic did was accelerate and aggregate the impact of that underinvestment for everyone to see. Because community health centers have been a long-term partner to the California Endowment, in the early days of COVID-19, we saw how quickly they were responding to community and community health needs and supporting TCE vulnerable populations. They were doing this often with limited PPE, and they were doing this with uncertainty around potential reimbursement for their services. As early as March of 2020, we were talking to Capital Impact Partners about establishing a responsive loan fund for community health centers. I really want to acknowledge the commitment of Capital Impact Partners to this effort. They had multiple people from multiple departments moving forward to support community health centers and this loan fund. They brought to this partnership early on a first loss guarantee, which really helped facilitate the structuring of the fund. And they brought their trusted relationship that they had built over decades with CPCA Ventures and their knowledge and expertise in community health centers. All that Capital Impact did made it really easy for us to participate in the CPCA COVID-19 Responsive Loan Fund. As a statewide impact investor, we believe our role in community development is to build and support the ecosystem for community-centered capital across the state of California. We hope that every region in California, and moreover across the United States, can benefit from organizations such as Capital Impact Partners that are really centered on addressing community needs, but also really strong financially, so they're able to be there for community regardless of the economic and political cycles.